I know I could use a break, and you look long overdue for a laugh. Hey, let's go grab some drinks, 'cause it's Beverages with Brad.
Welcome to Beverages with Brad. I'm here with my guest, Gary Balletto. Let's start with the boxing career. What got you into boxing?
I started boxing when I was 13. I didn't know how good I was going to be until I had my first amateur boxing match. I knocked the opponent out in the first round. And then you think, well, maybe this guy was just terrible. But then I had my second fight and I knocked the guy out in the first round again. And then I had my third fight and I knocked the guy in the first round and I knocked the guy.
Wow, boxing's easy.
Yeah, this is way too easy. I was training at the Rhode Island boxing gym where I met my lifelong boxing trainer, Kurt Reeder. He said, I'll throw you in the Golden Gloves. I think you'll be fine. It's a novice division. In the finals, I knocked my opponent out in 40 seconds. I just thought that was it. I won the Golden Gloves. I'm done boxing. And I stuck around for another year. I won the Southern New Englands. I won the New Englands. And I made it to the quarterfinals of the Nationals. I lost the quarterfinals. I lost the decision. But I had altogether 20 amateur fights. I only lost 2.
Did you ever get knocked out?
I've never been knocked out. I've been knocked down a few times.
Yeah.
But I've always got back up. I was up in a matter of 2 seconds. I have 26 knockouts out of 31 wins.
Wow. What would you say your biggest challenge was in the ring?
The only problem I had with my opponents was the guys I couldn't hit. You can't replace experience. Some people can take a punch, but it's not so much taking the punch, it's knowing how to take the punch and not get hurt. I am definitely a puncher opposed to a boxer. And the funny thing is, I could box great, but when I got into that ring and it was a pro fight, I just wanted to hurt my opponent. I never tried to win a boxing match. It was always, how am I going to knock my opponent out?
Did you feel like if you won a fight by decision, it wasn't as big of a win for you? Was it like, well, I didn't knock him out? Did you feel kind of disappointed?
I made it to 17-0 with 17 knockouts. And I had my 18th fight, and it was against Hector Arroyo, who was a very good opponent, who fought Floyd Mayweather. I won all 6 rounds, but I went the distance. And I actually knocked him out of the ring in the 6th round. He got back in the ring, the bell rang. I did not get the knockout.
Were you disappointed?
I felt like it was my first loss.
Your favorite memory in the ring?
My favorite memory was the IBU World title. I fought Johnny Walker. This opponent was at the weigh-in, and he was looking at me like really mad. He like put his hand like this, like he's gonna kill me, and I ended up knocking him out in the first round. I hit him with a left hook. He fell through the ropes, and he landed on the commentators. And Vinny Paz was actually one of the commentators.
Oh, really?
You know, like I couldn't have put him in a better spot.
That's pretty awesome.
That's something I'll never forget.
Let's discuss the accident.
This was June 30th, 2013. I have 2 trees that are close together in my backyard, and I wedged this pole in between the trees, and I put this pole up for my 7-year-old to practice pull-ups. I said, I think your brother could do like 10 pull-ups when he was 7. Let me see how many pull-ups you can do. My 7-year-old did 20 pull-ups, and that's like not normal. That's like freak. And then he started spinning around the bar, and I said, let me show you how to do that. And that's when I spun around the bar. The second time I went around, that's when it happened. The bar really wasn't secure. I always had good reflexes, you know, just the wrong way at the wrong time. Bad choice. You know, I landed on my chin, like going backwards. Right that moment, I was paralyzed. I couldn't move.
Yeah.
And, you know, at the time, I thought, well, I'll go to the hospital and I'll get fixed and I'll be back. At that time, I didn't really know what a spinal cord injury was.
I can see that fighting spirit obviously is helping you through this journey since the accident.
Yeah, Brad, I'm still the same person. As much as this injury affected me in life and what I do every day, I'm a business owner too. So, you know, besides boxing, I was a contractor and a real estate investor. And that's where most of my time was spent. I'm doing everything I was doing. It's just taken me a lot longer. This injury slowed me down, but it definitely didn't stop me.
what would you say to somebody else that's had an injury like this?
You gotta accept what the injury is. You gotta accept it, and you gotta do the best you can do around your injury. Like, I need help getting dressed in the morning, going to the bathroom in the morning. I have a 3-hour routine I do every morning. It's like, I almost look at it as like I'm wasting 3 hours, but it's not wasting. That's my life now. That's what I have to do. But there's always something I could do to better my body.
Right.
Right? But I also have to fit in. I have to earn a living.
You have your family, you have your business. Yeah.
So I'm just trying to fit that in the best I can.
Because I'm sure you have days where you're just like, just tired and maybe even pissed off. There's got to be people around you, huh, that push you at those times.
I never look to anybody for like somebody to talk to when I'm having a problem. I kind of deal with everything myself.
You're like a man's man, Gary. See, I am like a woman, all right? I'm emotional. If I'm depressed or stressed out at all, a lot of people are going to be hearing about it.
There's nothing to worry about because I tried worrying, but worrying didn't fix anything.
You must at least have spent some time like self-reflection or this.
When I was in the hospital is when everything hit me the most.
Yeah.
I cried every single day. I cried every day. I couldn't stop crying. Every time I thought about it, like, oh my God. One day I just stopped crying and I said, I don't know why, but I just stopped crying. No, there's no more tears. And then I found out they were giving me depression medicine.
This almost just sounded like an infomercial for for happy pills. That's what this just became.
It was. I don't even take aspirin like my whole life. I'm not really a medicine guy. I get out of the hospital, I got out of rehab. I realized I don't need any medication. I'm still fulfilling my dreams. Like my dreams of developing property.
When this happened, did you get people say stupid shit to you that annoys you?
People do say some stupid shit.
I bet.
Sometimes, they try to help, but you gotta remember, everybody's different, and you gotta accept people for who they are.
You're a forgiving guy, just like they don't know any better type of thing.
I think so.
Yeah.
I didn't get along with people that were disrespectful. Obviously, I could fight, and I never picked on anybody.
Yeah.
But when somebody hurt somebody else, or took advantage, or was a bully, that's when I stepped in. I never hit a person that didn't deserve it. And anybody...
That sounds like a bumper sticker, maybe.
I met a beautiful woman about 6 months ago that I am very in love with. She left me a beautiful message one day, and I asked her if I could take her out. I said, my daughter dropped me off, my mom's gonna pick me up. And then she was leaving, and she said, I'll wait. I said, that's okay, my mommy's coming.
Finally, I wanted to ask you about your foundation, what you were raising money for at the show.
Our congressman referred me to the Kennedy Krieger Institute, which is in Baltimore. So I went there for a 2-week intensive therapy. They train you and they put you on a program that you can follow suit with at home. One of those tools was the electric stimulation bike. I had a little fundraiser and we raised that $20,000 in one day, and I put it at my local YMCA. So not only I could use it, but our whole community could use it. After I realized how important this facility is that's needed for people with injuries like mine, there's no place to go, I decided I'm going to open up a center where people can come, exercise with other people that have the same injuries, learn from each other. I want to have a support group in there, and I also want to help people with spinal cord injuries go back to work.
Well, Gary, I appreciate you doing the show.
Thank you, Brad.
All right, thanks, Gary. Appreciate it.